Good morning, beautiful people. This is Alexandra Danieli coming to you live here for the February daily number 5 here on my Facebook business page. And when you're coming on, give me a like or say hello so I know that you're here. So I'm not so alone around here. And this is the subject of today's February daily too. It's like, I don't want to be alone on here, right? We need other people. I need you guys. If I'm doing this by myself and you're not watching, then who am I doing this for, right? I guess I could talk to myself all day long, but that's, people who talk to themselves, what do we think they are? Crazy. So one little thing first, a real quick announcement. If you are a mother and you are dealing with hidden shame and want to release it, I have a free event in my group Emotional Freedom for Mothers. So join there if you want. It's happening in about 45 minutes at 11 a.m. PST over there. So if you want to release some hidden shame, and I'll talk about why that's important too. Basically, we don't want to live in all these lower vibrations anymore. But so if you want to join me over there at 11 a.m. PST, I'd love that. I'll check the group member requests before I start so that I can make sure that you're there. So, hello again. What we're talking about today here is, why do we need other people? So let's start with a statistic that I've once heard. I haven't Googled it or anything, but the statistic I heard once is that being lonely long term is more unhealthy for you than smoking a packet of cigarettes a day. And as we all know, smoking a packet of cigarettes a day is pretty unhealthy. So I've also seen it a lot with my mom. She's now she's in a home, in a nursing home. She has a lot of community and made some friends. She's actually doing better. But all those years she's lived by herself at home, just trying to make it by herself, she was incredibly lonely, making bad decisions for herself, making decisions out of loneliness, and yeah, I could see that firsthand, so I could totally see how that's true. But so why else do we need other people? First of all, ask yourself, what do you need other people for in your life? I personally like a lot of alone time, but I also really, really thrive when I get to talk and have deep conversations with another person, or I get to reflect something with my coach or with a good friend or with my partner. When I get to hold my kids in my arms and my heart opens, I'm like, ooh. And, there's a lot of hormones that get released when we're around people that we really like. Hugging, for example, releases oxytocin, which is one of the most healing hormones that we can do. Doing anything pleasurable or joyous in our lives, and especially with other people, creates nitric oxide, which is not the same as nitrous oxide, which is the laughing gas at the dentist. But Google it, nitric oxide, and the effects it has. There's a lot of stuff going on in the body with that. It's kind of a hormone, I guess. It lowers blood pressure naturally. It has so many anti-aging effects in the body. So just doing joyous things with people, is very anti-aging and very healthy for your blood pressure and many other processes in your body. But also, why else do we need other people? Like yesterday's theme of my February daily was love, right? So my personal opinion is that we need other people for love. And that is because most of us, we are not at the place where we love ourselves so much that we can just thrive of our own love. We are often sitting there talking bad to ourselves. We're getting in mental loops. Our programming is running. So the formula here is, if you're into mathematic formulas, but this is not super mathematical, but programming creates thoughts, thoughts create emotions, emotions create actions, and actions create results. So if we are stuck by ourselves with our own programming and have nobody to reflect anything on, we're just basically running our programming, running our own brain loops. There's no chance of really bettering ourselves. And even if we watch tons of self-help shows on Netflix and read tons of self-help books all by ourselves, without other people, then we don't even have anyone we can practice this on. And the same thing is with love. Why we need other people for love is, not because we're want to be in a codependent relationship or in a codependent situation and saying, I need someone for love. But especially when you get triggered by another person, or when you get into an uncomfortable situation with a person, what that can help you get to is more love with yourself, ironically. And while you might want to point fingers and blame and say that person sucks and they triggered me and I don't want to ever talk to them again, it's very important to have other people as these mirrors, because they're going to show us what needs healing, what needs attention in ourselves, so that then we can love ourselves more when we release that. And if you ever have done an emotional acceptance gift session with me, you will know what I mean, because the more of these programs that aren't ours we release, the more we get to love ourselves. And then from my talk from yesterday, which you can scroll back to if you want, which was about love, you'll realize that once the more love you have for yourself, the more love you have to give to others. But it's basically when we don't have the love for ourselves and our own cup isn't full, and it's not an ego love or like a, ooh, I'm so great kind of thing, even though it can be fun to play around with sometimes, but like this real deep love for ourselves where we're like, I have so much to give just because I am so good. And that's the place that's why it's so important to grow our loves for ourselves. But we need other people for that, because otherwise we wouldn't get triggered. We wouldn't get the opportunity to grow. We wouldn't get to see which spots in us are still like open and raw and need attention, so that we can love ourselves more past those triggers, through those emotions. And for all of you, who are into getting better and releasing more and more of what we don't need, hit me up for a gift session. Just message me or comment below. And if you are watching this on replay later, just #community, so know that you've watched it. And I'm going to get ready now for my free community event in my group over Emotional Freedom for Mothers on Facebook. If you're watching this on Instagram, hop over to Facebook, send me a group request, Emotional Freedom for Mothers. At 11 a.m. PST, we're having our free Release Your Shame, even if it's uncovered. And, well, first find it and then release it. So if you want to do that, I'll invite you to join me over there, Emotional Freedom for Mothers. I'm going to go get ready for that now, and I hope to see a couple of you over there. And yeah, reflect on what you need other people for. It's not codependence. It's we need people to reflect things back to us. And if you've ever had a deep conversation where you were in a deep talk with someone and you got surprised by what came out of you, the wisdom, the kindness, the beauty of the things that you said while you were talking to that person, you will understand that other people can pull this wisdom out of ourselves. We can't necessarily do that by ourselves either. So this is my summary of why we need other people in our lives. And here's just another last fun quote, which I've heard once, which I think is so true. We need other people. This is what I'm saying, but the quote was, the thing people are most afraid of is other people. And I'll leave you with that, because that is also very true and very entertaining. So sending you lots of love. Hit like or love if this was helpful or entertaining. or if you just like the way I drink my decaf coffee. And I'll see you on Monday for the February daily number 6.